Hey folks, David Frost, LazyGapTrader.com. And what you're looking at here is a live chart, a live trade of Tesla. What we're looking to do is we're looking to short the stock a little over 215. You're looking at a morning gap trade, or the makings of the beginning of a morning gap trade, I should say. This morning, I identified Tesla as one of two possible gap trades this morning and sent it out to members at 9 a.m. And this is also the same stuff I teach in the course at LazyGapTrader.com. I teach how to get specific resistance or support levels where a stock is likely to have a price reaction in the other direction. We're looking to short Tesla at 215.04. That's where the order is. And if it gets to that level, we should see a pretty decent pullback from that level, as it should be very, very good. There we go. I'm in. Should be very, very good resistance up here. Now, the thing is, it could take anywhere from a minute or two, or seconds even, or it could take, 20, 30 minutes to play out. So we don't know exactly. But what we do know is that here at the 215 level, there should be very, very good resistance. So we have a stop loss order also recommended that the members know what it is, and I also teach how to derive this in the course. And on this particular stock, it's going to be up over 216 would be the stop out point, 216 and a quarter, 216 and a half, in that neighborhood. I don't think it's even going to get close to that. So here we go. It's a quick pullback already, and anytime you see like this, you see three candles go up into a specific level and the candle ends at that level, you'll generally get a pullback in the next candle. It's not a general rule, but when you've been doing this long enough, you've seen it happen too many times to kind of read this book before type of thing. So anyway, the point is that what we're looking for on Tesla is I'm looking for an initial pullback to about, let's say, $13.80. That's where I'm going to take off half the position. I'm going to leave the other half on to see if I can squeeze out another couple of bucks at a Tesla, because I think that this is a really, really good resistance point, and I think we're going to see anywhere from a 3 or 4, maybe even a $5 pullback on this stock. Maybe not all at once, maybe not even all today. I'll be out of the stock today one way or the other, but this should be good resistance. So here we come, and now we're down here already about 50 cents in the money, and it's going to bounce around up in this neighborhood for a while, especially since it's up very, very strong today. So the bulls aren't going to give up the stock that quickly, or maybe they are. Here we come. We're already 65, 75, 80 cents in the money. That's nice. So we'll see if we can get it down at 213. 213.80 is where I'm going to take off the first half of the position. And then I'm going to leave the second half in with a stop in the money and see how much I can get out of the trade. And that second half, and I teach this in the course, that second half becomes a risk-free, emotionless trade, right? So we're bouncing up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this bake in the oven for a little while, and I'm going to pause the video, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to see in about 10 or 15 minutes where the stock is. Yeah, so we already made a low of, pretty close to my number, but we're going to see where this winds up in about 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll come back and report on it in a couple of seconds. So, let me just pause for a second. All right, so I let a couple of minutes run off the clock. The stock was going back and forth. It got up as high as 215.67. Now it's backing off again. That was well within my stop loss limitation. And now it's coming down. So I'm going to be out of half the position at 213.80. Whoop, I'm out of half the position. There's just like that. That filled. Okay, so now I've got half the position left, and I'm going to put a stop in the money. And then once that, if the stock comes down, I will sell at some point some point throughout the day. I'll sell the second half of the position, but I'm going to let it come down a little bit more and see if I can get it down to potentially in the 12, maybe 12 and a quarter 1250 area, 12 to 1250, in that neighborhood. I'm going to look for another, dollar and a half, $1.75 out of this thing on the second half. That's what I'm looking for. So you can come back later on, or go look at a chart right now. You can pause the video, I guess, once this is posted, and come see what happened after the fact. I don't know what's going to happen, but what I do know is when you do that, you basically give yourself the opportunity to get more out of the stock. The worst case is you get stopped out of the second half of the position and you still made money on the first half. So it's a no-lose situation, so it becomes an emotionless trade. And you can see the stock is now coming down even farther. It's not going to happen all at once. The bulls don't give it up that easily. It'll bounce around for a while. It could take a couple of hours to come down a little bit more. So we'll see what happens throughout the day. But the basic bottom line here is, with this gap trading, and I teach in the course, I teach how to find these specific price levels. This one happened to be a short play. I found a resistance level on Tesla, teach the exact same theory or methodology or strategy in the course. Everybody that takes the course can do exactly what I did this morning, finding the 215.04 level. That becomes a resistance point. On a stock that's gapping down at the open, we're finding a support level. Same thing. We just flip it on its, on its side. 180-degree different. A stock that's gapping down from earnings, for example. And by the way, we're getting into earnings season, so now's the time to learn this stuff. You want to know this stuff while earnings season gets started in about a week or two in earnest. And what happens is you'll get anywhere from 5, 6, 7, 8 of these things a day. And you can play as many or as few as you like. But this is basically a license to print money in the market. If you can do this with the proper discipline, following the proper strategy, following the rules, you can trade these gaps. Any stock that's gapping higher or lower at the open, it's a license to print money in this market. I'm David Frost, LazyGapTrader.com.